Hello! Today will be my final Eurovision video of the year, most likely, until Junior Eurovision comes around. But I hope you've enjoyed my videos. I hope I haven't annoyed you with it because I'm pretty sure most of my subscribers don't care about Eurovision. Anyways, last weekend was Eurovision and I wrote down my reviews of every single song because that's what I do. Let's just get into it, shall we? Okay, number 1, Ukraine. Oh, Ukraine. Ukraine brought the Eurovision to Eurovision. Let's be real, this was a great opener. I'm not saying the song was particularly amazing, but like the show was there. Like they had a concept and they went with it and they did really well with it. Like that entrance, I wrote down, love the entrance, get it Dracula, oh my god I love him, his look is hot, the song is so generic but I'm obsessed. That pretty much sums it up. Yeah, I loved it. I mean, it's no César, but Ukraine brought their A game. I gave them a 7 on the song, but I gave them a 9 on the act. Number 2 is Spain. They weren't in the semifinals, so it was the first time for me to hear it. I just wrote down Romeo and Juliet. That's what I wrote down. I don't know, they were just like, they were just a cute couple. Usually I don't like these types of songs. Usually they really annoy me, but I actually thought it was kind of sweet. Not that I'm gonna like be listening to it all the time, but like I gave it a 7 for a song and the act was 5. Because even though it's a Eurovision trope of like the two lovebirds, I was just kind of like there's not much there to look at. Number 3 was Slovenia. They brought it. I wrote down, this is a lot, love the rap and the choreo, epilepsy alert. This woman is just so entertaining to watch. She like really goes for it. I appreciated her style and her attitude. My mom was texting me that she thought her voice was really annoying, and I get that, but no, man, I liked it. It reminded me of like 21, like old school YG K-pop. That's what it reminded me of, and like that has a special place in my heart. So like I couldn't help but like the song. And honestly, like I would jam to this song. I gave it an 8 for the song, which is pretty high. And a 6 for the act because like they had choreo, which is always a plus, but like the part where they pretended like the song stopped playing, I didn't like that. Like that gave me anxiety. But yeah. Then we go to Lithuania. Lithuania, where are you? Oh yeah, I wrote down ballad again, but it's kind of touching though. Hermione's Yule Ball dress. True! Her dress really reminded me of Hermione's Yule Ball dress. Such a pretty dress. As for fashion, like she gets an A+. But the song was kind of forgettable. I don't know. I gave her song a 6 and I gave her act also a 6 because the part at the end where like her husband, I think, came on stage and she like started crying, like that got me a little bit, so I gave her a few points for that. And then we go to Austria. Austria placed really high in the competition. I had no idea this was gonna get any votes. Not that I thought it was bad, but I just didn't think it was Eurovision at all. Like I didn't feel like it was appropriate for the competition. I called it space gospel. I said those eyes are intense, smooth voice, that gospel, but where is he even going? Where was he even going? I thought the song was decent, like it's a good pop song. I would actually listen to this song, but I just didn't think it was Eurovision at all because like the act as well wasn't that interesting. Like it was just standing there in his like fake leather t-shirt. It was weird. I actually didn't write down any points for this. Clearly it wasn't that memorable. I'm sorry, Austria. For the record, don't take any of this personally. I'm never sassy in person, but when it comes to Eurovision, like I can be very critical. Like I never fight with people, but when it comes to Eurovision, I have strong opinions. And Austria just didn't do it for me. Then we have Estonia. Oh, Estonia. I loved Estonia. I have a thing for opera. Anytime there's opera in Eurovision, I will give it a high score because I just really like opera. And I think there's not enough of it. I thought the act was also pretty good. My mom disagrees completely on this. She thought it was absurd that she was just standing there, but I thought it was brilliant. That dress had impact. I love it. And I also just really liked the melody. It was a melody that kind of evoked emotion in me. Like I actually got kind of emotional listening to it. Be that as it may, I hadn't slept much because I wake up at 3:30 a.m. to watch Eurovision. But yeah, Estonia was great. I gave the song an 8.5 and the act I gave a 7.5. I thought it was very Eurovision. Then we go to Norway with my favorite person person, Alexander Rybak. I am obsessed with him. Oh, I just love him so much, and it pained me to watch him perform because that song is just not good. This was the only song I heard before the Eurovision because I'm subscribed to his YouTube channel because I'm literally obsessed with him. Every song he comes out with, usually I'm all for it. Like, I love everything he does. And then when he comes back to Eurovision, he comes with this song that's just like so mediocre. I just felt really bad because he can do so much better. What happened, man? it just frustrates me because he's so good and now people of Europe can't see how good he is. But anyways, I gave the song a 6. I probably would rate it lower if it was not Alexander Rybak, but like, I care a lot about this man, so gave it a 6. And the act, I gave the act an 8. Let's be real, that was also just because it was him and because he was playing the violin and because, you know, he's an icon within Eurovision, so that just gets points. Then we go to Portugal. Portugal was so cute. Both of those girls were just so attractive. I was just staring mouth open wide at the screen the whole time. I was blown away by them. I just love them so much. The song was pretty good. Not like the best song I ever heard, but like not bad either. I loved how soft it was. Their voices were just so pretty together. I was very pleasantly surprised by them. I didn't think it was Eurovision though. Like, I just, you know, again, it's not one of those songs that I think should be in Eurovision. I gave the song a 7 because it's a song I would listen to, and the act a 6 because even though they were both very aesthetically pleasing to me, nothing that much happened. Then we go to the UK. Oh, the UK, the cursed country. I don't know why you guys never get any points. It's like you guys are actually cursed. I don't know what it is. And then they had that terrible thing happen on stage. Man, she recovered like a champ. Her performance honestly was really, really good, especially considering what happened. I thought she did amazing. So like, I respect her a lot, and also I watched an interview with her and she has really good fashion style. Like, anytime I see her in interviews, I'm just like, I want her outfit, I want her outfit. So like, I like this chick. But the song to me was kind of there's so many songs like that out there. It didn't really catch my attention. And the act as well, even though they had those cool like LED things going on, it wasn't that impressive to me. I gave the song a 6 and the act a 5, which up until now is the lowest. Number 10 was Serbia. Oh, Serbia Einstein flute. I like that guy. But honestly, aside from the Einstein looking guy playing the flute, I barely remember the song, and that's not good. And I usually really like Serbia. Oh yeah, I really like the intro of this song. That's like a typical Eurovision entry, and like, I'm all for it. But the song itself I thought was quite forgettable. Honestly, I can't even remember what it goes like, and I've listened to all the songs quite a few times now. Yeah, I expect better from Serbia. I gave the song a 6 and the act a 6.5 because the flute guy. Then we go to Germany. Oh, Germany. Germany was so generic. Oh, and like, the song on its own was really pretty. Like, if I heard this song on the radio, I would be like, oh, that's such a cute song, that's pretty. But like, for Eurovision, are you kidding me? No, this is not your moment. This is not the time to be singing this song. And I really don't want to be rude, like, cause like, honestly, like, it's a good song and I think he's probably a really good artist, but I was just like, what you doing here, boy? Although I get it, cause like, sometimes songs like this really do get me, and sometimes I'm like, oh, like Silent Storm by Carl Epson or Jäger Leaf. Those are like those types of songs, and they do get me, and I think they're great for Eurovision. But this one just didn't do it for me. I gave the song a 6.5 and I gave the act a 5. Then we go to Albania. I just wrote down How to Train Your Dragon because that's literally all I could think about when they were playing their song. This song sounds like it should be on the soundtrack for How to Train Your Dragon. And if you didn't know, I'm obsessed with How to Train Your Dragon, so that's a big positive. That just instantly gave them points because, oh, I could make a YouTube channel solely dedicated to me talking about How to Train Your Dragon. Just like the intro and like it's just, I don't know, like the song had something of an adventure to it. I really liked it, and I loved that it wasn't in English. Also, I loved when the guy started clapping, just like, I love that. And also when he started screaming, yeah, I really love this song. I gave the song a 7.5, but then I gave the act a 5 because the act, there wasn't that much aside from. Then we go into France. Oh, France. It wasn't good. It might be because my French is not that good, but the lyrics sounded so weird to me, like, Je m'appelle Merci, and I was just like, what? What does it mean? And I just thought it was so forgettable. This song was like the point in the show where I was like, what is this? I was like, actually, like, why do they think they can send this to the Eurovision and they think it's gonna do well? I don't know, I was so confused by this. If you're from France, I'm sorry, I really don't mean to insult you, and this song might mean a lot to you, I don't know. But like, I didn't like it. I gave the song a 5, which is actually honestly pretty generous. And I gave the act a 4 because like nothing happened. I'm sorry. Then we go into Czech Republic. Until this point, I still don't really know how I feel about it. It was a lot to take in. So like I wrote down, in the beginning I was like, oh yeah, here we go. Who's this sassy guy? I like him. But then like suddenly I started writing, oh wait, no, it's getting cringy. Like, you know what I mean? Like it started off like, oh yeah, this is fun. This is some fun Eurovision stuff. But then like the further it went along, the more I felt the cringe, and I don't know. I still don't know how I feel about this song. I don't think I will listen to this. And like I watched his music video yesterday, and I thought the music video was a lot less cringy. Like when I watched the music video I was like, oh, I can get into this. But the performance, at least it wasn't boring. I'll give him that. He gets points for that because it's better than all the boring songs. I gave the song a 6.5 and the act a 7 because it was entertaining. And I love that they had something of an act. They had something interesting to show us. Now we go into what is probably my favorite, which is Denmark. Oh, Denmark. It was so good. And again, like me and my mom, because me and my mom are always texting each other during Eurovision, we did not agree. She hated it and I was living for it. Oh my god. First of all, the guy looks like Tormund from Game of Thrones, which like that already grabbed my heart. Then it just had like a Viking theme, which is just like, I mean, I love Vikings. I love everything about it. I love how they created this atmosphere because they had like those like sails thingies next to them as well. So it like, you know, oh, the atmosphere was all there. And then like their song, at first I thought, oh, is this gonna be like a ballad and like maybe not so good, but like the melody really like swept me away, and I really felt like I was in this like fantasy world, and that's the kind of stuff I love. And then when it started snowing and like the wind in their hair, it was so magical. For me, that's Eurovision. I can understand if other people are not, you know, caught up in that fantasy vibe and it doesn't bring them to that magical place. I get that because my mom was like not into it, but for me it did 100%, and I was obsessed. I will like listen to this song and cry because I'm a nerd like that. Just thinking about it makes me happy because that's the kind of Eurovision that I am completely here for. Also, I love their little like stomp choreo. I gave the song an 8.5 and I gave the act an 8. Then we have Australia. I just wrote, ugh. I'm so sorry. The song was not bad and she was not a bad performer. It was just not like, why does Australia do this every year? They always just send some like quality pop song, and it's just not, that's not how it works. Australia, it's not how it works. You're not supposed to send a quality generic pop song. That's not what Eurovision is for. I thought Australian people were party people because all my Australian friends are party people. I figured they would send something more fun, but Australia never sends anything fun. I'm sorry, I'm getting rude. I don't want to be rude. It's just Australia frustrates me because like we invited you out of the kindness of our hearts. You better serve it, you know, and they just don't. I think this got the lowest points. The song is a 5 and the act is a 3. This song could have been saved by like some grandiose act, but it was just her on the stage with like nothing. There was nothing going on, and I know that you can't be too angry at that because sometimes it's a budget thing. There could be multiple reasons for why there's no big act, but still, like, I don't like it. No to Australia. Then we have Finland. Finland was fun. Finland brought the fun back. I was so happy after Australia to see Finland come in with a freaking wheel, and like the singer was singing while on the wheel and I was like, are they gonna start throwing knives at her? Because wow. Also, her backup dancers were everything. This is how it should be done. She had like an army of backup dancers and they were all fierce. It was so good. The song itself, honestly, I wouldn't say it was the best song ever, but like that didn't matter to me because I was entertained, and that's what it's all about. The song was a 7. The act I gave an 8.5. Then we go to Bulgaria. I don't know if this is a controversial opinion or not, but like I really disliked this song. I think the song in itself might be okay, but I think it was their voices together. Like when they were singing separately, it wasn't that bad. But like once they started singing together, it was all so screamy and not nice to my ears. I was just like, what is happening? This is not, no. I just felt like something was wrong with the arrangement or with their voices. Like something was off. And like they were serving looks. I liked that. But the act honestly wasn't that impressive either. So I gave it, the song, a 6 and the act a 5.5. And that half point was because of their looks. Then we'll go into Moldova. Moldova never disappoints. They always bring something fun. I love Moldova. I need to visit Moldova or something. I don't even know where Moldova is. I'm sorry, but like I need to go there. Moldova is great. They bring the party. This is the type of Eurovision act I like to see. It was great. It was executed great. I still don't know how they did it. The song, it's not my kind of song. It's not a song I would listen to, but honestly, I don't care. I thought it was great. I would watch that over and over again. This is exactly why I watch Eurovision. They had choreo, they had props, they had colorful dresses. I gave the song a 5 because I didn't like the song that much, but the act got a 9. Then we have Sweden. I just wrote down feeling himself because honestly, that's what he was doing the whole time. He was so sassy, like the way he was looking at the camera. Oh, the song was bleh. No, the song was pretty good, but not Eurovision. It was a generic pop song and that's not what I'm here for. But I gave it more points than Bulgaria because at least this guy, I would say, had an act. And by act, I mean just his face and his dance moves. I just loved his attitude on stage. I thought it was hilarious. For that reason, I did give it a few more points, although I don't think it would have been a good winner. I gave the song a 6.5 and I gave the act a 6. Few more to go. There are a lot of countries here. My throat is getting dry. Speaking of dry throats, Hungary. How does he even have a throat? I loved Hungary. They were so good. Oh, they brought me right back to 2007. Back in high school when I was in my emo phase and I was just like listening to all that emo music. Honestly, I still listen to emo music all the time. So like, this was right up my alley. I was living. Because there's been screamo in Eurovision, but sometimes it's like not very good. And I feel like it doesn't represent the screamo community very well, but this song was actually really good. They brought it really well as well. That lead singer went for it. I was like headbanging on my couch by myself in the middle of the night. It was great. I gave the song an 8 and I gave the act a 6.5. The stage diving was great. But it wasn't like the best thing ever. Then we have Israel, our winner for this year. This one as well, I was very conflicted on the first time I heard it in the semi-final. My first points I gave, those are like temporary points I give, was like a 2 or a 7 because like I couldn't decide whether I hated it or loved it. I loved the amount of showmanship in it. I also kind of felt like it was obnoxious. Like I couldn't decide whether I found it obnoxious or not. But then in the end I realized that this was Eurovision and then I was like, no wait, I think I'm just gonna enjoy this, and ever since then I've just been enjoying it and I actually quite like the song. Also, can we have a shout out for the boy in the audience when she was singing Stupid Boy and he was like singing along, like really feeling it? That's one of my favorite moments of this year. In the end, I gave the song a 7.5 and I gave the act an 8.5. It was great. I quickly want to address the cultural appropriation things that have been going around about the act because that kind of stuff just bothers me. Okay, I live in Japan. I'm an English teacher for adults and I talk to many Japanese people every single day. And I talk to them about this kind of stuff. Honestly, every single Japanese person I've ever met has been completely shocked by the idea that something like that would be insulting. People in Japan genuinely love it when people take things from Japanese culture. All of my students always ask me, oh, have you worn a kimono yet? Have you dressed up like a geisha yet? And the first couple of times they said that, I'd be like, are you sure that's okay? Like, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable. And they would just be like, are you kidding me? It would suit you so well, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, they love it. I've shown the entry to some Japanese people by now. I've shown the entry, and all the people I've shown it to have been like, this is awesome, oh my god, there's like the maneki neko, and like they're all so excited that like it's being celebrated and so happy that it won as well. And so I just wanted to mention that, and I just want people to lighten up and stop thinking that it's insulting, because it's just like, calm down. Okay, rant out, I'm done. Then we go over to the Netherlands, aka Texas. This was weird. And like, the Netherlands are my neighboring country, so I always have a special place in my heart for the Netherlands. But like, what was this year? Yeah, I didn't like the song. I didn't really like it, although the show factor went up because of the crumping backup dancers. Like, the backup dancers made it better. I gave the song a 5 because I didn't like it, and the act a 6.5. because the dancers were entertaining. Then we go to Ireland. Ireland, oh, they were so cute. This is an example of a ballad that really touched my heart. When it first started, I was like, it's just a ballad. But the moment the chorus kicked in, I felt it. The chorus is so beautiful. I love the chorus. And the act with the two modern dancers, it was so beautiful. Two modern dancers doing their thing is also, I think, a very typical Eurovision thing. And so like, I gave that points for that as well. I gave the song an 8 and I gave the act a 7. I know it's getting darker and darker, but that's because the sun is going down. I'm filming this after work. Like, I have no time aside from now to do this. So bear with the darkness. Anyways, then we have Cyprus. Ooh, Cyprus. Cyprus was good. Okay, you know how I said I didn't like Australia? You have Australia and you have Cyprus. They both send like quite generic pop songs, right? The difference though lies in the performance. I thought Cyprus's performance was incredible. I'm so obsessed that I've learned the choreography. I am obsessed with this woman. Also, I thought she was so sweet. Like, whenever they cut to her when like they were winning points, she was just so sweet, and I really like her. I always have so much respect for artists who can do a choreography but still sing really well. Her voice was so solid during that whole song. I think she's so talented. Also, she looked amazing. I gave this song a 7.5 and I gave the act a 7 because the choreo was amazing. And then the last one is Italy. Italy was the country I'd heard the most about. I hadn't heard the song, but I'd heard so many people's opinions of this song on Tumblr because I followed the Eurovision tag, and like so many people were talking about how this song was amazing and how like if you don't like this song then you're a terrible person. And me hearing those comments probably had a big effect on my ultimate opinion of the song, which I feel kind of bad about. I like the song a lot, but I think there's a certain pretentiousness, and I think it comes more from the fans and those comments that I've heard, and it didn't quite click, and it made it very hard for me to really get into the song. I love the message of the song, obviously, it's beautiful, and I love the way they sing it as well, like the anger in their voice as they're singing it. I think it's very powerful, but I haven't had the chance to really get emotional over it just because there's all those comments in the back of my mind. I wish it didn't bother me, but it does. In the end, I gave the song a 7.5, but I gave the act a 2. That's kind of harsh. I wouldn't give it a 2. I'd give it like a 4. Oh no, I remember why I gave it a 2. I thought it was too political. But that's another thing I want to say. It's just, I don't like songs like this in Eurovision. I love songs like this in general. I just don't think they have a place in Eurovision. The reason Eurovision was made was it was after World War II, and it was, you know, to like show that we're all together and to like sort of leave war behind us. And that's why maybe a lot of people think the song does deserve a place in Eurovision, because it's about war. But I think we should just forget about everything negative and party for a night, because we hear negative news all the time, every single day. And Eurovision, for me, I feel like should be exempt of all of that. It should just be about having fun. and there should not be any trace of like dark negative stuff going on, just for one night. You know, all I'm asking for is one night where we can just throw some glitter on and party. That's what I want. And so that's why I don't like this song in Eurovision. Again, probably an unpopular opinion, but like that is my opinion. Oh god. Okay, I've been talking for a long time and the sun is going down, so I need to stop. But I'll quickly tell you my favorites, my top 5. At number 5, I would put Ukraine, because Ukraine brought Eurovision. The burning piano, the Dracula costume, the getting out of the coffin, the freaking one single contact. I just thought they nailed it, and I think that deserves a 5th place. At number 4, I would probably put Estonia. Again, when I just think of the melody, I get like emotional. I thought it was so beautiful. I thought the act was stunning. The projections on her dress, man, like if that's not Eurovision, I don't know what is. At number 3, I would put Hungary, the Screamo band, because that's just a quality song to me. This is a song I can like lose myself to, and I appreciate that. I do have to agree it's not exactly Eurovision that much, but like my love for this song goes deeper than that, so I'm gonna just put it on number 3 because I can. Then at number 2, I will put Cyprus, because that woman is my queen. I love her so much. God, if she ever comes to Japan, I will go to her concert. I think she's great. I think she's wonderful, and yeah man, Cyprus. And then on my number 1, I will put Denmark, because Denmark brought everything. The act was on point, the song was on point, everything about it was on point. I love how they didn't get like any votes from the jury and then all the votes from the people. I just thought that was iconic. And so yeah, that was my Eurovision recap for this year. I had a great time. Oh god, it's so dark right now. But yeah, I had a really good time. I totally do not regret getting up at 3:30 in the morning for 3 times last week. Anyways, that's gonna be all for me today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want to see more of me, you can click subscribe. And if you are interested in my life in Japan, then I suggest you subscribe to my Japan channel, because I run that channel with my husband, and yeah man, it's a great time. So yeah, I'm gonna have dinner and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!